HOA Fight Club. I'm Raylene Schifano. Today I'd like to discuss the COVID-19 virus and how it affects HOA. So, is your HOA board doing enough during this time to keep the reserves in place, take care of the property, protect the homeowners, and do what they're supposed to do? In my CC&Rs, the board and the association were responsible for anything that happens on that property. So if there's a flood or anything like that, it falls onto the HOA. Well, this is kind of a different thing, but it does fall onto the HOA condo associations to protect the homeowners. And as a homeowner, I think the first thing I would suggest that you do, if you see your board has not cut the budget. So we know that we're going to have lots of unemployed people for the next few months, possibly more. So the HOA board should be calling a special meeting, which they can do just like I'm doing here over video. They can do FaceTime calls and all of that kind of stuff to make sure that the association runs properly. They also need to cut the budget right now. So anything that's not important. I know that our HOA was paying for cable for the entire property, which was like $85,000 a year. The HOA was not responsible, according to the CC&Rs, to pay for that cable. So that is something that could be cut right away. And I'm sure that with the situation as it is, cutting cable is one of those things that you should be able to do. Now, I know that in Washington State, Comcast doesn't make it easy to cancel any sort of association or business cable. They make it really difficult, and they say they need, 6 months notice and things like that. Those are people that I would report to the Attorney General. If there's a company that will not put on hold or cancel your subscriptions due to the coronavirus. Also, the association is responsible for keeping those areas clean, the community areas. So the swimming pools, the cabanas, anything that's on that property that's a common area is their responsibility. They need to make sure that it has been sanitized and that the homeowners are staying in place and not going to those facilities right now to keep it clean. Also, they are responsible for you. You are the association. So if your board is giving you late fees or any sort of fees for not paying on time due to the coronavirus, I would report them to the Attorney General's office because I think that at this time, this is what the reserve should be used for. The reserve should be for the association, which is the people, not for what the board deems it necessary all the time for. So this is an emergency, and the board and the association should have some sort of a contingency plan for taking care of the homeowners during this time, not putting them into foreclosure. I know in Washington State, they have ceased all sheriff sales as of right now. So your board can't put it, they can foreclose on it, but they can't auction it off in a sheriff sale. So, which usually they do, and then they buy back that property for like a couple $1,000s and they rent it out or they sell it. So they won't be able to do that in Washington State. If you see that your board is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, I would suggest calling a special meeting of the ownership. In my property, there was 130 homes, and to call a special meeting of the ownership, it only required 20 signatures. So I went door to door when I needed to get those signatures. And I'm sure that you are not the only person that is in jeopardy right now of not being able to pay their bills and do what you need to do to take care of your family during these times. So if you see that, go call a special meeting at the ownership. Now, that's going to be difficult because of the coronavirus and the limitations we have. So my suggestion to you is to go meet them from a distance, knock on their door or call them or email them and ask how they're doing. Check on your neighbors, because there was a lot of seniors in my condo association, and I did a lot for them. I helped them go to the doctors. I, ran errands for them. I did everything I possibly could for those seniors, and this is the time where they need the help most. So reach out to your seniors, reach out to your neighbors. Going, to their door and knocking on it is not going to contaminate them. Keep your distance and just say, hey, are you okay? We need to protect our property and our values right now, and not let this is kind of funny. I was on LinkedIn the other day, and there was property managers making fun of homeowners for being in this kind of a situation. They can't wait to foreclose on people. They were chomping at the bit and laughing at homeowners that are in jeopardy right now. So if I was a property manager, I think I would hold off on making fun of homeowners that can't pay their bills, because just because you're employed right now, you may lose your job also. And if I was a board and had control, I tell you what, property managers is one of the first things I'd cut. Those and attorneys. Our property manager fees are usually $50,000 to $80,000 a year, depending on how many foreclosures they do and things like that. So that is something that, if it is not required to have a property manager, check your CC&Rs. They will let you know. You can get rid of those people with 30 days notice, which is a good or a bad thing. Sometimes having a property manager keeps the board honest. Most of the times it doesn't. It only enhances the fact that they aren't honest. Property managers have been the ones that have denied all records to me. So they will do this continually until they are told not to. So also HOA and condo attorneys, they will do the same thing. They will keep their business going, but the courts are bogged down right now. So there's nothing they're going to be able to do. So there's no reason for a board or an association to pay to put a lien on your home or to foreclose on it, because it's not going to go anywhere in these times. So the board is just wasting your money. Make sure they are taking care of the association. Those reserves are for these kind of times, not for the special pool that they want to put in. I know that there's always, things that need to be done on properties, but check your HOA and condo insurance policies. There could be things in there that would cover the homeowners. Our boards need to be creative and communicating with the homeowners, not keeping us out of their business, because the association business is the homeowner's business, not just the board's business. So if your board's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, vote them out. Call a special. I know there's a lot of annual meetings coming up. Most of the times they're in like June or in this first time of the year, in the first quarter or second quarter of the year, the annual meetings are coming up. And if your board is not taking care of you during these times, I would say vote them out. Find somebody new. You may be the better person to be on that board. Don't be afraid to be on an association board. If you bought into an HOA or condo association, you should want to be on the board. You should want to know what's going on. So help your neighbors, go check on them, make sure everyone's okay. And let's make sure we all get through these trying times together, not losing our homes to rogue boards and property managers and attorneys that could care less about the virus or anything else. They only care about profits. These are the people that the attorneys make the laws. And this is the time for people to step in and say, no more. Enough is enough, and speaking up matters. All right, I'll see you on the next one.